Getting ready for the start of the Pocono Mountains 150. It's race number 11 in this 2014 Camping World Truck Series season. Let's take a look at some of the things that you need to keep an eye on. Number one is strategy. It's not just the track that's tricky, and restarts can be perilous here on this big super speedway. And hi everybody, I'm Steve Burns. Thrilled to be alongside Phil Parsons and Michael Waltrip. We'll start with you, Phil. There's so much about this racetrack that presents a challenge for the team and the drivers.
It really does. This race has been 50 laps in the previous years, but they added 10 laps to it. And all the crew chiefs said that really changes our strategy. We may run this race like a road course. We're going to start from 60 laps and back up. We know we can run around 30, 31 laps on fuel. So some of these guys may forsake coming down pit road if the caution comes out in 15 or 20. And they may say, we're going to stay on the racetrack. We want to pit under green around halfway, around 30, 31 laps, and then we're good to go to the end. And then we hope the caution comes out for the rest of the guys to have to come to pit road, but they will be behind us for this restart.
And the restarts are where I like to talk about, Phil. They're going to be amazing. As the race winds down here at Pocono, action always heats up. We always have cautions in the last 10 laps. This set up the final green-white checker, three-wide racing back in the pack. And Ryan Blaney started on the outside of the front row. He was second. But look, Paludo takes Quiroga three wide, and Blaney grabs the lead. That was the move that won the race. But look how they spread out. Look at all the action we're going to see on these late restarts. I can't wait for them, guys. It's going to be fun.
And the numbers, the trends, whatever you want to call it, they all indicate to a great finish to the race. We've had 4 previous races here at Pocono. As we said, we've never had a repeat winner.
And it's going to be the same way today, and you won't know. I love Phil's strategy, but all that strategy goes out the window when they line up for that last restart.
And Phil, to your point, we hope something's going to happen. We hope our strategy works, but it may not.
It may not. We may see guys shutting the engines off on the pace lap, saving gas.
All right, let's go trackside to fire the engines.
And now, for the most famous words in motorsports, please welcome your Grand Marshals, the Pocono Raceway Kids Club members.
Drivers, start your engines!
Just moments away from the start of the Pocono Mountains 150. Stay with us here on Fox Sports 1. And the trucks are underway here at the Pocono Raceway. 60 laps, 150 miles for these Camping World Truck Series competitors. And we take a look at the track description, and I'll refer to Phil and Michael because you guys have raced here a lot. It's a super speedway with not a lot of banking.
It's a super speedway. That's a road course. Fast speed, too. These truck guys will not shift like the Cup guys will, but you go probably upwards of 185 miles an hour down the front straightaway into a bank corner, but it's a sharp turn, and you got to get that thing going the other direction toward the Long Pond straightaway.
Yeah, and you just have a lot of fun in the tunnel turn. These drivers barely lifting these trucks. We're going to go 60 laps, 150 miles. We talked about that. That's 10 laps further than before. Strategy is right on, making it on one stop. It'll be interesting to see what these smart crew chiefs decide to do in order to try to gain track position.
All right, let's take a look at our starting lineup. Some star power up front. How about the 2 Sprint Cup Series rookies, Kyle Larson and Austin Dillon?
They battle every Sunday. Why not do it on Saturday?
I hear you.
And a great run for Tyler Reddick and Ben Kennedy. Both those young drivers trying to take on the Cup Series regulars up front.
Timothy Peters trying to bounce back from a couple tough weeks.
Justin Lofton, limited schedule, but always fast here. And Ryan Blaney, our point leader, back in row 4.
First time he's ever led the points.
Row 5, you got Matt Crafton alongside Clint Boyer. Oh, Boyer, hey, what are you thinking? How you feel? You got this figured out?
3 laps in it so far, but that's a lot of fun. I used to love running these trucks. Feels good to be back in them. They race good. They draft good, which is fun here. No shifting. Just worry about hitting your marks and passing these 9 cars in front of me. Or trucks! They're trucks!
Yes, they are. They're trucks. Try to tell people at home what it's like to hit that turn 2, the tunnel turn. You truckers treat it like it's just a kink. No brakes, barely off the gas. How intimidating is that?
is intimidating, but a lot different in this truck. You can bury it off in there. They got a lot of drag. You don't use a lot of brakes. Whereas in that Cup car, you bury it off in there too far, you're in trouble. You got to downshift and do a lot of shifting, so use a lot of brakes. Just fun. Let this thing hang out. They like to be sideways. Like I said, the drafting's going to be premium. We're going to have a lot of fun.
Well, I expect to see feathers flying off that chicken machine. You have a fun time out there, buddy, and we'll be watching.
Thank you, man.
He's excited as we are.
Oh, this is a good event. This is a fun event.
All right, guys, let's take us through the onboards.
We're going to ride along with Bubba Wallace. He was our winner last week on the dirt at Eldora, and he will start his Toyota from the 15th spot.
Let's hop on board with our defending series champion, Matt Crafton, the 38-year-old out of California, has 2 wins in 2014 already. He rose the Menards Rip-It Toyota off from the 9th spot.
Last year's winner at Pocono, and our point leader, Ryan Blaney, will start his Cooper Standard Ford from the 8th spot.
Boyer talking about having to pass those 9 other trucks. This guy didn't have to pass anyone. Our pole sitter in the cartwheel by Target Chevy. Toyota has won every race this year, and they brought Kyle Larson here, Chevy did, to change all that. That's his only goal, win this race, and he's going to start from the pole.
For some final thoughts on pit road, we go to Hermie Sadler and Ray Dunlap. We start with Hermie.
Well, Steve, Thursday did not go well for Timothy Peters in Team 17. In pre-practice inspection, NASCAR officials confiscated the carburetor base plate off of that Toyota. Now, he never went on the racetrack with it. They were allowed to replace that part and go through practice on yesterday, qualifying today. All has been good. NASCAR says any potential penalties will be announced on Tuesday. Now, this team really needs a turnaround weekend. He was once the points leader in this series. Now he's back to 8th. A series of bad finishes has dropped his team back. They want to get back on top, and that could start with a great run here today at Pocono. Ray?
Hermie, just moments ago, Michael mentioned that Matt Crafton has 2 wins for the first time in his season, and all year long he's been right there in the points race. Now he's just 4 points back, but this is a great racetrack for the 88 team to come to. Matt Crafton is the only driver that's been in all 4 races here and got a top 10 in each of those events. His average finish 5.7. This year his average finish is 8.6 throughout the year. They know that coming to this track, it gives them a shot at getting right back in that point lead. Matt Crafton loves Pocono, and today he said he hopes they have just the right balance to be competitive and have a shot at the win.
Hermie, Ray, thanks very much. It is almost time to throw the green flag on the Pocono Mountains 150. Stay with us. Pace truck off. Norm Benning, Herman Quiroga, Jennifer Jo Cobb, Kyle Martell, Todd Peak among those having to go to the rear for unapproved adjustments. Green flag here at Pocono.
Michael, pretty interesting. Kyle Larson chose the outside for this initial start.
Yeah, we saw in the piece before the race that the outside won the race a year ago. Kyle obviously knew that, decided that's where he needed to be, and he grabs the lead down into turn 1.
They started to fan out going into turn 1, but they quickly got back in line.
It narrows up a little bit down there when you get to turn 1. See, Timothy Peters, the 17 on the inside, was looking for a spot to get up high. Wasn't able to do it. In front of the 20 truck of Justin Lofton, slots in behind him.
Clint Boyer down on the inside of Ryan Blaney, racing inside the top 10 on the first lap. Dives hard into 3. Can he hold position down low? It looks like Blaney's going to make a strong run on the outside.
A lot of grip on this racetrack. This amazing repaving job they did here a couple years ago.
This is just a fun racetrack. Drivers, all of them talk about how much fun it is to race around Pocono. Look at the side draft. You see Blaney moving over by the yellow truck of Boyer, just trying to slow Boyer's momentum.
Is that Joey Coulter thinking about going in between them there for a moment in that 21 truck? Ooh, Blaney, a little bit loose through the bumps down there.
Matt Crafton in the 88 battling Timothy Peters in the 17. He'll take that position for the time being.
That's the 7th spot that just changed hands. See Boyer looking on from 8th behind. Talk about Peters needing a good run. That team's really stumped their toe lately, so having a steady, solid run today will keep him in that points battle. He's got some ground to make up.
On board with Bubba Wallace, our most recent winner at Eldora.
He's chasing Jason White. Look at this draft, Bill. We talked about the hold the truck punch in the air. Look at the way Bubba pulls up on White as they race down toward turn 1.
He's going to get up beside Jay White as they get down in turn number 1.
Now that's hard sledding, too, to get down on the bottom at those speeds and keep that truck pinned. Your arrow is all out of whack when you get down low like that. Bubba did a nice job of holding position against Jason White, and when they get to the tunnel, Bubba should have an advantage.
Got a little bit of help right now. His teammate Eric Jones, the 51 truck, slots in behind him. That's going to push him by Jay White in the 9 truck.
See, Jay didn't want any part of that outside as he approached that tunnel. Doesn't race all the time. Get his legs under him a bit. Don't go running through the tunnel too wide. I think that was a good decision.
Just saw our leader, Kyle Larson. Austin Dillon runs second. Meanwhile, Joey Coulter in the 21 truck. He pulls alongside of Timothy Peters.
Good side-by-side battle here as they get to the start-finish line. That is a battle for the 10th spot.
Again, Peters runs to the inside to try to put a draft on the 21 truck to slow his momentum, but it doesn't work. Coulter around for that spot.
Remember, Joey Coulter is a former winner here in the Truck Series at Pocono.
2 years ago, driving for Richard Childress Racing. Joe Nemechek in the number 8 truck. Herman Quiroga's made up a lot of spots from the start of this race.
Yeah, they went to the garage during the qualifying session for some adjustments. They had to go to the very back of the pack here. He's made a nice move forward.
Yeah, racing along there beside Nemechek. That's Mingus. TJ Bell in the 50 truck and Brian Silas in the 99. You remember a year ago we showed the restart. This truck, Armand Quiroga, was leading on that final restart, and Brian Blaney stowed the lead away from him and won the race. But Quiroga's been close this year to victory, and he was close here a year ago. Look for him to continue this march through the field.
The Quiroga had a runner-up finish this year at Gateway to Bubba Wallace.
Quiroga up into the 18th position.
Boyer's looking to take away the 6th spot from Justin Lofton. Look to the inside there briefly. Isn't going to make it work. Lofton was all over Sauter up ahead. That's a 4-truck battle that's really bunched up. You know, you got to think that Boyer will just get better and better as this race goes on. Not only because of his Cup experience and understanding how the tires fall off and what to expect as he races forward, but also just getting used to the truck and the Truck Series, how the draft works, how the aerodynamics work, what the truck wants to do, what its tendencies are. As he learns those things, maybe makes a call to Mike Beam, for his crew chief, for an adjustment. Look for this truck to get steadily better.
As we ride along with Ryan Blaney right now, Ryan's in the 9th spot. It looked like his truck was a little bit loose off of turn number 3. And remember, guys, we talk about whether these guys are going to stretch it, try to make one pit stop. You don't get much time to take a whack at adjusting these trucks if they're not to the driver's liking.
Kyle Larson continues to lead. In fact, it's 3 Chevrolets at the front. Larson, Dillon, and Kennedy. Let's go to the Fox Sports 1 News Update now with Lindsey Theory. Welcome back to Pocono. Kyle Larson at work. He has led all 9 laps thus far here in the Pocono Mountains 150. Hermie Sadler has more on that 32 truck.
Well, Steve, it's been smooth sailing for the 32, and Kyle Larson since the drop of the green flag. He did report, however, his truck is a little bit tight on the exit of turn 3, which leads to the long straightaway here at Pocono. So look for some air pressure adjustments on the 32 when he comes to pit road. Now, the 3 of Austin Dillon, he has been in 2nd spot. He's reporting to his crew chief, Nick Harrison, that his truck is tight on all 3 corners on the exit for Austin Dillon. So these guys looking for a few adjustments, and both of these trucks, the 32 and the 3, started saving fuel when they announced to start their engines. The 32 cranked it up, turned it right back off. The 3 never cranked the engine until they started rolling down pit road.
And you know, guys, with this lead that Larson has and Dillon in pursuit, they can save some gas. This is a racetrack where you might mat the gas exiting the corner, get it going down the straightaway, and maybe roll off to about 80% on the throttle just to save a little fuel along the way. We know it's right on the border of making it in one stop, so they've got to be conservative early in the going. Maybe try to get out to 31, 32, maybe even 33 laps, Phil, in case there's that green-white checker later so that they can make it to the end.
Battle for 7th right here. Ryan Blaney on the move, trying to get by the 98 of Johnny Sauter.
You can see the yellow truck up ahead. Boyer got around Sauter and Lofton when we were at break. It looks like Blaney is going to be able to do the same thing. Blaney, Boyer, those trucks are really moving forward. Matt Crafton has lost a couple of spots, so he'll be definitely looking for an adjustment.
Good run through the center of the corner. Blaney's going to pull up beside of Sauter as they exit turn 3.
Man, that's a good feeling when you can get that left front of that truck down on the bottom of the racetrack, get a little air on that nose, which helps pin it, and then try to make the pass. But really strong Toyota horsepower there on the straightaway. As you see, Johnny Sauter was just able to drive away from Blaney when they got going straight. That's the best place to handle down the straightaway, especially at a place like Pocono. And that Toyota looked to have a lot of power under the hood.
So Sauter slams the door on him.
I guarantee you Blaney thought, I got him, when he made that move to the bottom exiting. And Johnny said, okay, we'll see about that. I don't think so.
You know, we were on board with Ryan Blaney. Maybe Matt Crafton pulled out to align himself with his teammate Johnny Sauter, and then maybe that's why Ryan Blaney lost a little momentum down towards the end of the straightaway.
Let's see if he can make a repeat. That's him, Blaney up in front. Crafton here, he was able to get to the bottom of the last lap. You can see right through the center a lot faster than Johnny Sauter. It's going to be a replay of the last lap, it looks like, really closing in on Sauter on the exit.
Yeah, these guys find themselves about 12 seconds behind our leader right now, Kyle Larson.
Ray Dunlap.
Matt Crafton has said on the radio, guys, that he's tight center off. And during qualifying, he said in the second round they were just a little bit free. And his crew chief made a slight air pressure adjustment on the right front, and he said that truck went way to the tight side. He said he can't believe how finicky the balance is, but right now, tight center off, especially in 3.
Talking back and forth with the crew down there on Matt Crafton's number 88 truck. That's Carl Joyner, crew chief, reporting that the truck isn't handling just the way he wants, and that's evident by the fact that Matt's losing some ground. Look, Blaney to the inside of Sauter again.
Obviously, that 29 truck strong on exit of turn 3, center and off.
I think he's going to be able to hang in side by side with Sauter down into turn 1. Here comes Crafton, like you said, Phil, drafting with Johnny Sauter. That helps Sauter, but I think that 29 truck is just too strong.
And I think Matt was a little farther behind this time than he was that other time.
So this time Blaney makes the pass.
Now it looks like Crafton's going to challenge his teammate.
See the 21 truck, Joey Calder, he's behind Crafton, that white truck, and then Timothy Peters, the red and white number 17.
Working lap number 13 of 60.
You know, one thing about this strategy, you're talking about making it on one stop. Guys, if this thing goes green as we watch Ben Kennedy right now holding down the 4th spot, you know, we talk about Blaney and them being 13 seconds behind the leader. They'll never be able to overcome that unless we get a caution flag to close this thing up if we only make one pit stop.
University of Florida graduate Ben Kennedy rides in the 4th position.
I think 4th is where that truck is like to be. He was 4th fastest in the first practice, 4th fastest in the second practice, and nowhere did he qualify. 4th.
And then you can see Boyer got around Justin Lofton, but he hasn't been able to drive away from Justin. Boyer's running in the 5th spot just behind Kennedy, and the last couple of laps, Tyler Reddick and Ben Kennedy have been faster than our leader, Kyle Larson. It makes you wonder, is Larson up there saving some fuel like we talked about? When you're racing like we saw Ryan Blaney, Johnny Sauter, Matt Crafton, those guys racing, you can't save any gas. But when you're cruising out in front, a couple and a half seconds in the lead, maybe that's in conservative mode.
Larson leads Austin Dillon and Tyler Reddick. Stay with us here in Pocono. First caution of the day comes out on lap 16 for Ray Black Jr. in the 08 truck. He was running in the 26th position.
Got a bunch of flat tires right now as well as some body damage.
Exiting the tunnel turn, I think the most difficult turn in all of NASCAR. And you can see just thing bobbles in the middle, and it just upset the truck enough to where it comes around, and Ray tries to hold on to it, but unfortunately catches that inside wall. There was a time when that wall wasn't there, Phil.
Yeah.
I've seen some people
a lot of grass.
Get sideways in that grass, so that's good safety. It wasn't a good break for Ray Black Jr. because of the damage, but safety is more important.
So, Michael, Phil, how does this affect the strategy?
Kyle Larson's going to pit.
Ray Dunlap.
Matt Crafton is coming in. He said his truck was really going wicked tight, so they're going to make an air pressure and track bar adjustment. The 31 of Ben Kennedy also down here. They're going to go Sunoco fuel. Now for Crafton, he said, give me whatever you can to try to give me some track position too. They said, well, if we're coming, let's do 4. Hermie?
32 of Kyle Larson waited to the last possible second for his crew chief to call him down pit road. He likes his truck a little bit tight off of turn 2. 2 right side tires and air pressure for Kyle Larson.
Guys, I'm not surprised as we watch Clint Boyer leaving pit road. I'm not surprised that the truck's maybe outside of the tail end of the top 10 coming in. I was a little bit surprised with Kyle Larson coming in. Austin Dillon, Tyler Reddick stay on the racetrack.
Yeah, I agree with you, Phil, but now these guys know they've got to make another stop, and they're going to have tons of gas to get to the finish. So this could play out well if there's a bunch of green, white checkers late, which we've seen in the past.
That's what the numbers say. Coming up next, live coverage from here in Pocono Raceway continues with all the news and highlights of today with NASCAR Live. Coverage begins next right here on Fox Sports 1 and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. Fox Sports is your home for complete NASCAR coverage all season long. Let's go to Hermie Sadler.
Well, Steve, the 51 of Eric Jones came down pit road, one of the few trucks on my end of pit road that did make a stop. He has been really inconsistent in turn 3. It's a long sweeping corner. This is his first time at this racetrack. Depending on how he made the entry to the corner, he'd be too tight on one entry, free the next. So they brought him down pit road, air pressure adjustment, 2 right side tires. And if the 51 can nail turn 3, Ray, he's got a chance to make his way to the front.
Well, Hermie, Clint Boyer came on the radio and he said, guys, it feels like the nose is not down on the track enough. So when they pitted, they put 4 tires in, made a wedge adjustment, and also added a spring rubber in the right rear. Hopefully that'll help pin the nose just a little bit and get him through the center. Now for Ron Hornaday, his number 30 truck was loose. He said, guys, I need to be tightened up everywhere. So they put on 4 tires and made some major adjustments for that Rheem Chevrolet.
Top 4 trucks stayed on the racetrack that time. Austin Dillon, Tyler Reddick, Justin Lofton, and Ryan Blaney.
And I like this 19 truck, the Pep Boys Ford, Brad Kozlowski Racing, and Tyler Reddick. He was able to stay right there in the top 3, running lap times that were comparable to our leader, Kyle Larson. This young man's doing a great job. He's got a shot. He's got a truck that has a chance to win the race today, along with his teammate you see right behind him on the right up there, Ryan Blaney. Both those Fords are strong that Brad fielded today.
It looked like Ryan struggled a little bit on the initial start, dropped back a few spots, but then was making his move back towards the front. We saw him get by, work Johnny Sauter, and finally get by him.
Well, we've seen Toyotas win every race so far this year. Kyle Busch Motorsports has won 8 of 10. Matt Crafton the other 2 victories, but it's looking like Ford and Chevy are in charge today.
So just one caution here at Pocono Raceway. The pace truck is off. Austin Dillon, Tyler Reddick side by side. Green flag.
Watch for them to fan out. Get some runs and use that draft to try to make some moves. There goes Johnny Sauter to the bottom.
Easiest time to pass him is right here. You see Tyler Reddick move over to block Justin Lofton.
Lofton had a strong run on Reddick, but he was able to block him off. But Reddick's going to get loose.
Oh, what a save.
What a save, and was Austin Dillon lucky, that 3 truck on the outside.
Well, I think Austin Dillon, look at them spread out there, 4 wide.
A huge push going into 1 there.
How about Eric Jones inside of 4 wide?
Look how fast Bubba Wallace went around the truck that was hung on the bottom of Kyle Larson. That was amazing. Now look at Larson battle back on the inside. He's going to get around 1 truck. He's going to look to the inside of Timothy Peters.
On board with Kyle Larson, Timothy Peters just in front.
Realize this is the first time that Kyle Larson has been in traffic. He started from the pole, led every lap till the caution flag came out.
Right on his bumper as they head down to turn 1. Larson to the inside, and he'll make the pass.
He'll bring Eric Jones with him. Eric makes an adjustment or 2. Oh. He barely slid up in front of Timothy Peters.
I don't think he intentionally did that. I think he had to chase that truck up there in front of Timothy Peters.
That's when you're looking for a little help from a friend. Give me some space, brother. Look at Boyer around Matt Crafton. Boyer restarted 12th. That takes him up into the top 5.
Boyer being given credit for the 4th position.
Larson gets by Bubba Wallace. Now he's going to chase down that 88 truck, the Menards Toyota, Matt Crafton.
Look at him snaking down the front stretch. That's a cool view, isn't it? Austin Dillon started all that when he dove to the bottom to try to break the draft, and everybody just followed along. How about that move on the restart for Boyer from 12th to 4th here? Although he's not able to shake Matt Crafton, and here comes Kyle Larson. So Boyer's getting ready to see what it's going to take to win the race. And that's when this number 32 cartwheel by Target Chevy gets to him.
So Larson underneath Crafton, and he puts Clint Boyer in his sights. On board with Crafton.
Look at that. That's the shortest straightaway on the track, and he ran over 174 miles an hour down into the corner.
Really curious to see what he runs down at the end of the straightaway. Exits the corner at about 148 miles an hour.
We're going to go past 160.
Yeah.
Then we're going to go past 170.
Yeah. Start finish line about 167 miles an hour.
Now we're going to get up to about 180. There it is. Past it.
Yeah, and that's about close to terminal velocity with these trucks.
And then just 14 degrees of bank to keep your race truck from flying out of the ballpark.
Right when you're going the fastest, they put a turn.
Larson's been able to make his way by Boyer to the 4th spot.
Boyer's thinking, I don't think I can do that, whatever he's doing.
Yeah. We might need another adjustment or two.
Austin Dillon in a Chevrolet is the leader, followed by Ryan Blaney and teammates Tyler Reddick. Stay with us. Larson's on the march. The Kyle Larson Express is on the move. He is the fastest truck on the racetrack, and he has just gone by 2nd place Ryan Blaney.
Looked like he got a little bit loose there on exit number 1 after he got by Ryan Blaney. Ryan may have pulled up on his tailgate or something, maybe made him a little bit loose, but that truck is fast.
Yes.
He's the only driver that has run a sub 55-second lap.
And he ran that just a minute ago.
You know, Steve, Michael and I were talking a few minutes ago that Kyle Larson pitted. We were a little bit surprised as fast as his truck was, but as fast as his truck is, he can do about anything. He could have any stretcher. He could have stopped, stayed out, or whatever, as fast as he is right now.
Let's see when he makes the move around Ryan Blaney, how loose he actually gets up off turn 1. You can see pretty well sideways.
And Ryan really wasn't that close. I thought maybe he drove up on his tailgate. That was not the case.
You know, you look at a truck like that. Let's listen inside, see if we can hear him sliding. There he is. He breathed the gas, tires squall a little bit. But what you tend to think is, you know, he's just going to take it easy. He's got such a fast truck. These guys aren't going to take it easy. No, they're going to go as hard as they can. You got to get a lead. You got to get out in front. You're in control of the race then. And he's got a truck that he is driving the wheels off. Making it look easy.
This is only a 60 lapper, guys.
He's making it look easy, but he isn't driving it easy.
Austin Dillon right in front. That would be for the lead. Here comes Kyle Larson.
You wonder how maybe Austin Dillon's truck has been fairly fast. You wonder how maybe the air off of that truck is affecting Kyle Larson's truck.
Pair of Chevys up in front, followed by a pair of Fords, and then a whole bunch of Toyotas.
Now they're just having fun out there, it looks like.
Timothy Peters to pit road on lap 29.
Steve, here's a situation with Peters. He said his truck is absolutely so loose he's about to wreck it. So he called into his crew chief, Marcus Richmond, and said, you got to make a big big swing at this thing, and they know that they're right in their window here. Maybe 1 lap short, but Peter said he couldn't hold on to it. Next time by, I expect the 20 of Justin Lofton to be headed down pit road. You want to pit between lap 29 and 30 to be able to be in your window to make it the rest of the way. And also the 3 should be coming this way. Let's check in with Hermie Sadler.
Well, the 3 of Austin Dillon making his way down pit road. It seems like it takes forever to get down pit road at 55 miles per hour, but a scheduled pit stop, 4 tires and fuel. Austin says his truck out front was really pretty good. They're going to try to snug him up just a little bit. The 3 truck, 4 tires and fuel.
You remember this 3 truck was able to hold Kyle Larson off, and he was on older tires. So maybe an adjustment here, the right adjustment, and they can keep Larson behind him at the end. What's happening down there, Hermie?
Eric Jones is back down pit road. He pitted on the last caution for 2 tires. He gets 2 left side tires and fuel, and he's down and away.
Phil, these guys are just using strategy. They're like, we can make it from here. Let's get to pit road. Get to pit road. They solved that the tires don't fall off that much. They now have the gas it takes to get to the end. If the caution flag falls now, don't look for them to come back to pit road.
Exactly. Austin Dillon pitted on lap number 30. Remember, we had 3 pace laps as we watched Tyler Reddick come in, and so he feels like he's good to go to the end. Hermie, what's going on with that 19?
Well, he's been very impressive this entire weekend, Phil. He qualified good. He was good in practice. Has really been very complimentary of this truck. Has not really complained at all. He gets his pit stall. It'll be 4 tires. They talked about a wedge adjustment, but I do not see that taking place. Now they're talking about potentially, here we go, left side tires as well. Fuel only and a small air pressure adjustment for Tyler Reddick. He's been in the top 5 all day.
He's done a great job, Hermie, but man, he almost threw it all the way down in turn 1 on that restart.
He makes contact with the 35 of Mason Mingus. Mingus spins around.
That's really incumbent on the crew chief for the 19 to let him know who's pitting around him, who's coming in at the same time.
And look at that damage on the back of Mingus's truck. Pretty good contact.
Yeah, so fortunate that nobody got hit. None of the crew members got hit down there.
Be interesting to see if there's damage to that 19 truck. And on top of that, we're getting a report that Tyler Reddick is getting pinched for speeding exiting.
When you have a strategy like they have right now, you can't make any mistakes, and unfortunately that was a big mistake. He may have got away with running into Mason Mingus, but did not get away with speeding. You see, again, it's incumbent on the crew chief to say, hey, the 35's coming in. He's 2 pits in front of us. Got to wait 1 split second and let him go through there.
And we should mention, too, as long as a 35 is in his pit box,
he can pit it.
He can pit it. So Reddick serves his penalty.
What this is going to do for him, he's going to find himself 1 lap down now. Now, if the caution flag were to come out, he's probably not going to get a wave around, because these guys in front of him, some of them aren't going to pit.
Yeah, he's going to have to get the free pass, and that might not be available for quite some time.
Ryan Blaney to his pit stall. Hermie is there.
Yeah, Steve, the 29 was able to stretch their fuel mileage a couple additional laps as compared to the competitors they're racing for in the top 5. It's going to be 4 tires in this 29. They didn't call for any adjustments, and this little bit extra fuel may come into play if we have a green-white checker.
Pretty good pit work there for Brad Keselowski's guys. Remember, we talk about the fact that this racetrack is so long, it takes so long to get around. You're able to make a 4-tire pit stop and have a few seconds to spare. Austin Dillon was the leader when he came down pit road, as we watched Kyle Larson, the 32, come back down pit road. Hermie, what's going on with the 32?
Well, it's a scheduled pit stop. They came in earlier, put 2 right side tires on, got him back on the racetrack. He was able to drive his way back to the front. Now they're talking about 2 tires on this stop as well. Top back off with fuel. A little bit different strategy than we've seen from the other top 5 competitors, but this should be the last time we see Kyle Larson on pit road.
You know, you talked before the race. Once we're in our window, we got to pit. We got to get that track position. He got 4 laps more than some of his competitors. Means he's safe for a green-white checkered at the end, and they felt like it was time to come in, get their tires, get the gas it's going to take to get to the finish. In case the caution flag falls, he's going to have that track position.
And pretty impressed with Ryan Blaney being able to stretch his fuel to lap 33 from the start of the race.
Clint Boyer is the leader in the 05. He's followed by Matt Crafton, Johnny Sauter. It's 3 Toyotas at the front, followed by a couple of Chevrolets, Coulter and Kennedy. Stay with us here at Pocono. Clint Boyer, your leader in a Toyota here at the Pocono Raceway. It's the Pocono Mountains 150.
Breaking story, Steve.
Trouble for Kyle Larson.
The guy that we thought hands down was going to win this race. Listen.
We can try cutting it off and restarting it down the front stretch there. 10-4.
Trouble under the hood.
Yeah, I listened to that truck as it came by our broadcast position here, and it did not sound right.
I shut it off and restarting it here down the front.
Not sure what that was.
Nothing, he says.
Yeah, I would have guessed that.
I'm sure he's already switched to the second ignition box, trying to see if there maybe it's an electrical issue, but
you can see the black truck just ahead of him there. That's Brian Silas. Silas drove around him, so obviously he isn't up to speed. Hermie, what are they saying?
Well, just like we've been hearing on the radio, he's really trying to decipher exactly what the issue is. There's no oil smell inside of the truck at this point, so they think it may be some type of an electrical issue, but he has switched boxes inside the truck to no avail, so we'll see if he brings it down pit road. They're probably going to have to go under the hood and see if there's something they can fix on pit road, but tough break for the 32, Ray.
Wedge adjustment for the Zaxby's Toyota of Clint Boyer as he'll take right side tires only. When they pitted the first time down, it was a 4-tire stop. He said he's still just a tiny bit tight. Back to the racetrack goes the 05.
the 88 of Matt Crafton will inherit the lead, so that'll be a bonus point for him.
And right now, Tyler Reddick is behind Ben Kennedy, and Kennedy's running in the second spot. Reddick's the first truck a lap down. He's got a really fast truck. He catch a break here. Here comes Crafton to pit road. If Kennedy were to pit, that would put him back on the lead lap, and he might be able to rally late in the race because he is one of the fastest trucks. With the 32 having problems, this opens this race up to a lot of competitors that can grab the win, like Matt Crafton, Ray.
Lap number 40, he comes down pit road, and guys, that was a calculated effort. They had known exactly where Clint Boyer was. As soon as Boyer came to pit road, they wanted to go out and lead a lap. That'll give them those bonus points. Right side tires go on. They put Sunoco fuel in, and Menard's Toyota Tundra back to the track.
Good point, Ray. Crafton comes in here second in points, just 4 behind Ryan Blaney. It's time now for our Camping World. 20 to go. It's young Ben Kennedy in the lead.
And the complexion has really changed here, Steve.
Absolutely.
With the 32 truck having problems. Kennedy taking the lead. We've seen that truck be really fast all weekend long. Tyler Reddick is behind him there. He's a lap down. Can he get around Kennedy back on the lead lap and have a chance to win this race?
Guys, I don't think we can count out Kyle Larson yet. He's having some issues, but right now he's still the top running truck that can make it the rest of the way. Everybody in front of him pitted under caution on lap number 18. He's all the way up to the 8th position right now, only 23 seconds behind our leader. Right there, that 31 truck of Ben Kennedy, and we know that Ben Kennedy has to come to pit road again.
You saw the 19 of Reddick. He was, remember, he had to serve a penalty, so he was a lap down, 21st. Back on board with Kyle Larson.
Larson, the last time by, ran a 55.83. Our fastest lap by any of the other competitors was Austin Dillon. See how that truck struggles down the straightaway?
Yeah, that's Clint Boyer. That is a battle for position. Now Clint Boyer is a top running truck right now that we know can make it the rest of the way on fuel.
Hermie, what's going on with Kyle Larson?
Well, they were hoping, Steve, for a couple laps that it was some type of electrical issue. As you can see, really a lot of speed through the corner with this 32, but the problem is once they get on the straightaway, the speed levels out. He's not able to keep up. You'll watch Clint Boyer drive right back by. Crew Chief Mike Hillman Jr. just said it's blowing up. We just do not know how long it's going to run.
Yeah, you can hear it. We could hear it as it went by our broadcast position once again. There's Austin Dillon, the 3 truck, going by as well. He's just a sitting duck out there right now. So fast through the corners, but nothing he he can do about it down the straightaway.
You talk about the fastest or the front-running truck that is pitted, Boyer, but the fastest truck that's pitted is Austin Dillon. He is closing in quickly on Boyer, and he was running second to Kyle Larson earlier. Could be a big day for Austin Dillon.
Boyer able to make his way by Tyler Young, the 02 truck.
And Tyler Young is running the 6th spot. We've seen a lot of progress from this 02 team. He's able to get that truck toward the front more often than he has ever been able to over the last few weeks. A couple of top 23, top 20 finishes for that team.
Actually, his last 6 finishes have all been 20th or better.
Yeah, it's solid. It's good to see that progress for Tyler.
See, Austin Dillon closes in on the rear tailgate of Clint Boyer in the 05 Zaxby's truck. See Matt Crafton right there, the yellow truck. There's Ben Kennedy. Ben continues to lead. He's run about 25 laps since he last pitted on lap number 18. Tyler Reddick continues to run right behind him. Again, the first truck 1 lap down. He would be in position now if the caution were to come out to get the free pass. He'd like to just go ahead and take care of that now and get by that 31 truck.
Pit 19 out back, knows you're coming to pit road.
So Ben Kennedy to pit road.
They warned Tyler Reddick, or warned him that the 31 was coming to pit road. Tyler Reddick a little bit wide on exit there.
Tyler's just driving that thing for all it's worth. You can't get around the leader too soon if you're a lap down. You know, that fixes a lot of problems if you don't have to take the free pass. You're able to race your way around another truck. There's the 2 Thor Sport trucks racing along with Eric Jones. Let's see what happens here. Whoa.
Whoa.
Wow.
Johnny Sauter and Eric Jones making contact. Matt Crafton right behind them.
I think Johnny just got loose a little bit, came off the gas, and Eric didn't have anywhere to go.
That was on the gas, obviously.
Ray Dunlap.
Ben Kennedy will be here in just a few seconds. Last time he was on pit road was lap number 18. He goes over the line slightly. They'll have to back him up. They get him back. They'll get the Sunoco fuel in. No tires here. They want to put a little piece of tape on the nose. He just said moments ago, don't change much. This thing is really, really good.
Well, that's what's tough there. It's hard to make a mistake and overcome it. It's battle for the lead right now. Joe Nemechek, the A truck, has the lead since that pit stop by Ben Kennedy. Ron Hornaday is going to take it over in the 30 truck.
The 4-time series champion to the lead.
Joe Nemechek had an engine problem. They started from the rear of the field, and man, he's coming on. Got the lead. Now he's going to have to make a pit stop, and so does Ron Hornaday.
15 laps remaining here at Pocono. It's Hornaday and Nemechek out front. How will this all play out? We'll find out. The caution came out for the 2nd time with 14 laps remaining. The number 59 truck of Kyle Martell hits turn 1 after a flat left rear. Martell 2 laps down in the 24th spot when misfortune struck.
Looks like a left rear tire goes down on the front straightaway. He knows he's got a problem there, tries to slow down, but watch this thing get to wobbling and turn into the outside wall.
He was really pretty fortunate. You see it, there's a lot of damage to that truck. But if he would have been down on the bottom of the racetrack and cut that left rear tire down, that thing would have hit the wall a ton. So as bad as it is, it could have been a lot worse. But now what are we going to do?
Yeah, how does this affect the outcome of this race?
Well, here's the top 4. We know they have to come in because they haven't pitted since lap 18, Ray.
And most of the guys that came down under green flag obviously went with 2 tires because they wanted to get in and out of the pits quickly. But now you've got the option to go with 4, and that's what Hornaday's guys are going to do. Remember, he was very, very loose earlier. They'll make a track bar adjustment on his Rheem Chevrolet. Give him 4 and plenty of fuel. Hornaday will have fresh rubber all the way around. Hermie?
So Ray, the 32 of Kyle Larson is on pit road. This is basically going under the hood to try to see if it's something, a quick fix, potentially a plug wire or something they can fix on the racetrack with the 32. Obviously a great truck, but not running the full song. So right now they're just hoping it's something they can repair and get this truck back up front.
It was a promising day for Kyle Larson. Obviously had the fastest truck here, but it won't end well.
if they could find a bad plug wire or something like that, he's going to lose a lot of track position. We have 22 trucks that'll be on the lead lap for this restart. It's going to be fun to watch him go through the field, even if they don't fix the problem. He's faster than a lot of these trucks, but if they fix the problem, he'll be on a mission for these last 10 laps or so.
But the only hope they have, Phil, is to find a bad spark plug wire. Yeah. Find a cylinder that's dead and see if it's the wire, or take the plug out, see if the plug's faulty. But you know, the great thing about this track is so big, it takes a couple, 3 minutes for the trucks to come around behind the pace truck. So they've got a lot of time here to diagnose what might be wrong and apply some repairs if possible. They don't look like they're overly energetic about getting it fixed.
Well, today it's baseball's premier rivalry as Derek Jeter and the Yankees will be in Boston to take on David Ortiz and the Red Sox, with special coverage beginning at 3 p.m. Eastern, only on Fox Sports 1, streaming live on Fox Sports Go.
Big Papi.
Big Papi. Hermie Sadler.
His terminal for the 32, nothing they can fix. It's a valve spring, or as the engine tuner from Hendrick Engines reported, something under the valve spring. So it's a terminal engine issue for the 32. Tough break for these guys. Dominant truck in practice and qualifying.
Sat on the pole position. As we said, he's on the pole for tomorrow's race, but what a fast truck they've had.
Fun to watch him race this truck for sure.
And I don't think he's given up on getting a decent finish here for this 32 truck. Now, he's not going to be able to contend for the win, but it wouldn't surprise me to see him race up there close to the top 10 here.
So we're under caution for the second time here at Pocono. Boyer, Dillon, Blaney, and Eric Jones in the lead. Will be back to finish. Glad you're back. It's time to shoot this thing out here at the Pocono Raceway. Clint Boyer filling in for an injured John West Townley finds himself in the lead.
Let's see if we can get a word with Clint before this last restart. Hey, Clint Boyer, last night about 8 o'clock, you texted me up and said, I'd drive that old chicken truck if those boys need some help. I like Zaxby's and John West Townley and those guys. And now here you find yourself leading. Can you hold off the pack?
Man, I hope so. It's John West did a good job, setting this thing up. It's a lot of fun running these trucks. Like I said, they're so air dependent. You can draft and everything else. That draft's going to be big here. If I can get out front and hold him off, it's kind of like Talladega, Daytona. You're going to have to block some runs and be aggressive here, but I think we can do it.
All right, we'll finish her up. It's been fun to watch. This is a big restart. These are the key to winning these races, so be ready, bro.
I'll try to make you proud, boss.
Love that.
All right, 1 lap to go before we go back to green. It's time now for our Ram Guts and Glory, and it has been a treat to watch Clint Boyer come through the field.
Yeah, just, with his experience, got past Timothy Peters. Now he's going to pass the 20 of Justin Lofton and the 98 of Johnny Sauter at the same time. Here's Kyle Larson, the truck that's been so strong, and that was a battle right there for the trucks that have been down pit road under green. And there's the crew chief, Mike Beam. Mike and John West Townley have done a great job bringing this truck to Pocono, running 7th in the first practice, giving Clint something that he had the chance to win with. But I'm telling you, I think Austin Dillon, right there on the inside of Clint, has a faster truck. We saw Austin run Clint down. He couldn't get around him. This is going to be a shootout. Another truck that's been really fast is Ryan Blaney. He's right behind Dillon. We talked at the start of the show what these restarts were going to be like. You're getting ready to see a crazy one.
So it's Boyer, Austin Dillon, Ryan Blaney, Eric Jones, Matt Crafton, Johnny Sauter, Justin Lofton, Joey Coulter, Herman Quiroga, and Jeb Burton in the top 10.
How about a call for Quiroga? Started at the back of the pack because he made adjustments during the qualifying session, has worked his way up into the top 10.
There he is in that 77 truck. Another fast truck right behind him is Tyler Reddick.
Remember we talked about how important it was for Tyler Reddick to get by Ben Kennedy. Although Ben Kennedy did come to pit road, Tyler Reddick now will restart 19th. If he got the free pass, he would have restarted 22nd.
And behind all the trucks on the track.
I mean 11th. He's going to restart 11th in the 19 truck.
This is This is the biggest moment of the race so far. Obviously, Kyle Larson having problems to set this up. But these guys, all those front 6 trucks have a chance to win this race.
Here we go. Green flag at Pocono.
Great start by Austin Dillon down on the bottom. He was nose to nose with Boyer as they went across the start finish line. Here comes, is that Bubba Wallace looking to the inside? Yep. Here comes Armand Quiroga. You talked about that run he's having. He's on the inside. There goes Dillon around Boyer.
On board with Ryan Blaney. Dillon gets by Boyer.
Ryan Blaney's lost all his momentum. Now he's in the middle of a 3-wide situation.
What about Quiroga? He's going to make that move. Oh, he's tight.
Right in front of Matt Crafton.
Time is running out here. We're coming down to 7 to go. 8 laps to go right now.
Former series champion Austin Dillon has the lead, followed by Boyer, Eric Jones, and Johnny Sauter.
Look at this snake going down the front straightaway.
Eric Jones, another truck that's done a nice job. At the start of this race, he's talked about how loose he was and the truck wasn't handling properly, but they've made some adjustments. Look at Hornaday. He's going to get up against Bubba Wallace.
Ben Kennedy makes a nice move on the inside in the 31 truck.
Wow. On board with Bubba Wallace.
That's racing back for the 11th position. Hornaday pushing ahead on the inside, but Bubba's going to hang on the outside.
Tough to go through that tunnel turn side by side. Looks like they're going to make it.
Oh, trouble. Tyler Reddick turned around by Armand Quiroga.
Third caution of the day comes out on lap 53.
Just got turned by the 77.
Yet another caution and a restart within the last 10 laps of this race.
We told you, didn't we?
Yep.
Tough break, though, for Tyler Reddick. Such a good run, strong run.
Had gotten his lap back.
Got his lap back, made one mistake, speeding on pit road.
And those trucks were running inside the top 10.
And there you see it, 40% of the cautions have come in the final 10 laps.
Ooh, a lot of damage now to Quiroga's truck. He's not going to be able to emerge unscathed here. Left front tires down on that truck.
Heavy damage.
Yeah. He's going to have to come to pit road, give up all that track position.
What happened?
See, Reddick gets a good run here off the corner.
Oh, and just gets loose.
Gets loose. And
I don't know if Quiroga was trying to regain control of his truck or said, you run into me, I'm going to run into you back.
Let's take a look from Ryan Blaney's perspective.
He just tries to make the move on the inside of.
Got loose before he ever got there, didn't he, Michael?
Yes, he did.
I think it was a situation where the 77 was just trying to regain control and moved down to the inside and caught the right rear quarter panel on that 19 truck and turned him into the outside wall.
That's possible.
And that was a battle for the 6th position.
Both those guys have done a great job all day long, but we saw Reddick, you remember earlier in the race when he dove into turn 1 on that restart, got loose on the bottom. We know how tough it is to hold your lane on the bottom. Tyler Reddick, a young man, not having many super speedway starts, isn't used to that feeling. When he dove to the inside, he said, I'm sticking good, I'm going to make this move. All of a sudden, that truck sideways. He had no idea how important the arrow could be right there off turn 2.
And we're inside of 10 laps to go. He knew that was a position, probably a finishing position, so he was going for it.
Yeah, and he had a really fast truck. You said he restarted 11th, and he'd already raced his way up to trying to take the 6th spot away. So obviously a fast truck and a disappointing end to a promising day.
And Quiroga to pit road as well. As Phil pointed out, a lot of damage to the left front of that Toyota Tundra.
Pick it up, guys. Pick it up.
Now, where does Austin Dillon restart, Phil? We watched a year ago here, the outside prevailed. Boyer just tried the outside and it failed. Austin got the lead from the bottom.
I think I'd go to the outside.
I do too.
Austin had such a good run. I think that's
you should push it back in. I think it's going to get it on the tire if you do that.
I think he timed it just right. He had momentum. When Clint went, he was already rolling, moving towards him.
Let's check out the restart that won this race a year ago.
Work continues on the 77 of Herman Quiroga. As Phil said, a battle for 6 with Tyler Reddick. Brings out the 3rd caution.
This set up the last green-white checkered a year ago.
It was Ty Dillon in the 3 truck, Johnny Sauter in the 98.
And here from the outside in the 2nd position, that's the 29 truck of Ryan Blaney. He got on the outside of Quiroga. Quiroga got to battling with Miguel Peludo down into turn 1, and around sweeping on the outside, taking the lead was Ryan Blaney, and that was your race-winning move.
I like the outside here for Austin Dillon. I really do. He's going to be in control of the restart. That time, I think he actually snookered Clint Boyer a little bit on that restart.
That's a potentially race-winning truck. One bobble, one wrong move at the wrong part of the track. That tells you how tough the tunnel turn is. It tells you how tough this Pocono Raceway is. You've got to be precise for 60 laps. He got sideways, did Tyler Reddick earlier, got away with it. Not this time.
And these drivers will be shown the 1 to go as they cross underneath the start-finish line. Hermie Sadler.
Well, you guys were talking about restarts. Your driver is in position to win, but what's going to happen on this restart? He got the lead from the bottom last time.
Well, he chose the top here. I think just a good, clean restart. Maybe O'Salter will give us a good push. Try to get the Yingling Light machine in victory lane. That's our goal today, and we've been strong enough to do it. We'll just see how it works out.
That's Nick Harrison. He is a crew chief for Austin Dillon.
All right, thanks very much, Hermie.
Yingling, that's fun to say, isn't it?
And guys, remember, brother Ty got his first nationwide win just 1 week ago at the Brickyard.
At Indianapolis, that's exactly right.
And then Austin followed that up with a top 10 in the Brickyard 400 the next day, and now he's looking to win another one.
Ray Dunlap.
Well, let's hear from Mike Beam. Any words of wisdom for your driver?
No, I mean, Clint's done a great job. You know, like I said, you know, this is a brand new setup for us, and it's still off a little bit. He's just driving it, you know, having some fun. And so, you know, it was okay, but we had that restart there, and things set down on the front spring. You know, it kind of has got too tight, but, you know, he ain't going to give up. So, you know, hopefully we'll end up having a good day here. But I'm proud of everybody. Really appreciate Clint and Michael helping us out here.
All right, right behind Mike Beam, John West Townley watching along.
Just tremendous for this race team. A good effort here for Zaxby's, but a brand new setup, and they were doing really well with Mike and John West Townley, and Clint Boyer is going to give them some more feedback here and might even win them a race with it.
Exactly, and when we go to Michigan in a couple of weeks, this team will be better, more prepared, and ready to win the race again. So it's nice to see guys that work as hard as Mike Beam and John West Townley, that whole group. Mr. Townley sponsoring the truck. It's just good to see them have some success here at Pocono after what started out to be a dismal Friday afternoon.
You boys ready for a shootout?
Oh. I don't know.
Pace truck is off.
Clint Boyer needs a big push from Eric Jones. And the
Green flag.
Yingling truck needs a push from Johnny Sauter. But Eric Jones is going to want to take a left here, Phil, and get around Boyer.
See Blaney pull out here. Several trucks pulling out of line.
Boyer's got a good run.
Remember, he can get loose down on the bottom too. Austin has the momentum from the high side.
So Dillon to the front, followed by Clint Boyer.
Here comes Matt Crafton. He's going to make it 3 wide going to the tunnel.
Eric Jones in the 51. Crafton's in the 88 right behind him, on board with Crafton.
Great move by Jones. He clears Sauter. That was a strong move. They're wrecking behind them. You heard Brett Griffin, the spotter, talk about Herman Quiroga crashing from.
I wonder if that might have had anything to do with the 19 truck.
So caution out for the 4th time. More damage to the 77 of Herman Quiroga.
Eavesdropping on the radio there, and spotter Brett Griffin said they're wrecking behind you, buddy. And he also said that it looked like Dillon was struggling over the tunnel. Try to put some pressure on Austin Dillon was the advice that Clint Boyer's spotter gave him to try to get closer to Dillon at the tunnel. But I just think that 3 truck of Austin Dillon's too strong for Boyer to be able to do anything with unless he's able to get something done on that restart.
Guess what, guys?
Green, white checker.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Look right side of your screen. Whoa. It looked like the 0-2 of Tyler Young got into the wall. It looked like the 19 truck was involved with that. Then the 19 truck came off of that and made contact with the 77.
I just think the 19 truck tried to wreck him once, didn't work, so he wrecked him again.
Wow.
Yeah. Obviously, he felt like the contact earlier was intentional.
Well, it wasn't. He just got loose, and the 19 truck, like I said, just Tyler Reddick just wiped out Armand Quiroga.
Yeah. And Tyler Young was an innocent victim there in the 0-2 truck.
And Tyler Young is, like I said earlier, he's been strong. He keeps getting better and better.
Stayed on the lead lap here in this race.
Exactly. So that's the problem with intentionally wiping somebody. If you're going to wipe someone out intentionally, make sure you don't involve another truck, especially a kid like Tyler Young, who was doing a great job. With limited resources, I might add.
Indeed, and that sets up a green-white checkered finish. Stay with us. Back at Pocono, drivers being given the 1 to go signal from the flag stand. Sorry, 2 laps to go. Also being told that Tyler Reddick in the 19 is being held for 2 laps by NASCAR. He's actually going to the garage area for rough driving, and he is being parked, we're told, and he will report to the NASCAR hauler after the race.
Yes, and NASCAR usually isn't in any hurry to get to you. They make sure they get all their business done, the things they got to work on.
Get everything cleaned up.
And then Tyler, you just stick around until we're ready for you. And this penalty, rightfully so. I mean, these trucks are running. We saw speeds of over 180 miles an hour, and you just can't go wrecking each other like that and thinking that you're not going to have a penalty.
And Michael, to your point, Tyler Young was an innocent victim. You know, having a good day here, and really, it's just. It shouldn't happen on any racetrack, much less a track this big.
And it's retaliation. He felt like the 77 took him out, even though I think the 19 got loose initially in the tunnel turn, got into the 77. Then he felt like he took him out. But here's the situation. Looks, the 19 is in the back of the 77 right there.
Yep.
And that puts him into Tyler Young, and it's going to turn Tyler into the outside wall. You see the contact there.
Hard contact for Tyler Young, a truck that was running inside the top 20, doing a great job.
And then 19 goes after the 77, puts him in the outside wall.
So Tyler Reddick to the garage area for rough driving.
And Tyler Young to the garage area with a crashed truck.
Yeah.
And
we got to do it again.
One more time,
we got to do it again.
Now we get the 1 to go signal. And just a reminder, when we are finished, we'll be going back to Charlotte, North Carolina. NASCAR Live with John Roberts. Let's go to Hermie.
Well, Steve, the 3 of Austin Dillon obviously in great shape to win this race, but if we go beyond this first green-white checker, potentially a fuel concern for Austin Dillon. He was on pit road on lap 30. Now, we've had several caution laps, and he's gained 5 or 6 laps of green flag availability with his fuel, but if we don't get it done this time, we could see people starting to get nervous in the 3 pit, Ray.
Very, very clean and green for the 05. Last time that Clint Boyer was down was 39, so they've got plenty of fuel in their Zaxby's Toyota. No worries about fuel.
All right, thank you, Ray and Hermie. It's Austin Dillon, Clint Boyer, Johnny Sauter, Eric Jones.
Great job by Eric Jones again. In position to win a race, had a truck that he didn't like the handle of early, and now he finds himself right behind Boyer with a chance to take these boys 3 wide down into 1, Phil, and we know Eric Jones isn't afraid to go 3 wide or hit the gas.
And continues to impress her, that young driver, just now 18 years old.
Just graduated from high school.
Graduated from high school. 2 wins already under his belt here in the Camping World Truck Series. Matt Crafton right there. Knows the point lead is on the line.
He's currently tied with Ryan Blaney there as they run on the track.
Yeah,
we like saying that, don't we? We do. We like it so much we said it together.
There's Ryan right there. Looks like Ryan's truck is a little bit off on the initial starts. Then it gets better and better, but we're not going to have enough time. He's going to have to go here Joey Coulter having another great run right in front of him in the 6th spot.
And another guy we need to give a call to is Justin Lofton. He's in the 7th spot, right in the top 10. Any one of these first 6 or 7 trucks, they go into turn 1 like we know they're gonna. Anything can happen.
All right, here we go. Green-white checkered attempt. Green flag is in the air. Dillon and Boyer side by side.
Looks like a huge push at first by Johnny Sauter on.
Look at, they're going to all clear Boyer.
Joey Coulter up to 3rd on the outside.
Boyer's fighting back on the inside.
Needs a push.
He's got Ryan Blaney down there. Brian's going to go to the inside, try to get by him on the apron.
Wow, what a move by Ryan Blaney to the apron. Here comes Matt Crafton.
Joey Coulter in the 21.
How'd they make it?
Unbelievable.
What a restart for Austin Dillon.
Woo! Man, Clint Boyer had a bad restart there that let him fan out, and Austin just drove around him.
I think Johnny Sauter was the key to that restart for Austin Dillon. He was on the back of that 3 truck, giving him a solid push.
White flag for Austin Dillon. Can he break the Toyota dominance?
The next flag will end this thing, even if we have a problem.
Look at Matt Crafton all the way back outside the top 10.
He got down in the dirt over in turn number 3. Now he's in the outside of a 3-wide battle.
Ben Kennedy side by side. He gets underneath Joey Coulter.
Spencer Gallagher in that 23 truck. There's Jeb Burton, the 13 truck. Matt Crafton is dropping like a stone.
Austin Dillon headed for turn 3.
Is the Toyota dominance over?
Here.
Good job, guys.
Austin Dillon with a checkered flag.
So proud of y'all. That's awesome. Thank you,
His 6th win in the Camping World Truck Series, the former series champion.
What a great run for Johnny Sauter. He pushed Austin Dillon to that lead and then came home with a 2nd place finish. His teammate Matt Crafton, who started up in the top 6, fell to 14th. And with that, lost that tie for the points that he held when that restart happened.
How about Joey Coulter, though, finishing 3rd? That team continues to get stronger and stronger.
There's Joey Coulter given credit for the 3rd position. Congratulating Austin Dillon.
It's been a pretty good week for the Dillon family, huh?
I'll say.
Ty getting the big win at Indy last week, then Austin top 10 in the Brickyard 400, and now the win in the truck here in Pocono, Pennsylvania.
And the weekend's not over. We have Ty racing in the Nationwide Series in Iowa.
And then we got Austin racing in the Cup Series in Pocono.
Absolutely.
Great family. I love Mike Dillon and Tina. They just, those kids are so respectful and so thankful of their opportunity to even race in NASCAR, let alone when they get the win. It's a wonderful family.
Hermie Sadler.
Well, you guys get the job done, Nick. Go to victory lane. How nerve-wracking were those last couple laps because of the restarts and the potential for fuel issues?
Yeah, it was nerve-wracking because we only had a few laps left for past advertised distance. But I think the Lord was looking down on us, and, you know, everything worked out. Austin did great. Everybody at RCR for building this truck. It was really fast when we got here, and we made it to victory lane. So thanks to everybody, Yingling Light, Lucas Oil, and everybody supports us, and I'm headed down here to drink a few.
Want to have a little bit of a toast in victory lane.
All right, thanks very much, Hermie. First Pocono win in the Camping World Truck Series for Austin Dillon. He'll start on the front row tomorrow, but today he's the winner. Stay with us here in Pocono.
Hi, I'm Lindsay Theory. Here's what we're working on for Fox Sports Live.